Hello there, INFOrmed Beauties, your girl EuniyceMari here, and so today I'm going to be giving you guys a makeup routine for oily skin, some quick little tips on how to keep your skin looking as matte as possible in this summertime weather where it's hot and the skin just starts to get all oily. What are some things to keep your skin as matte as possible, okay? If you guys have any questions, you can leave them down below, as well as everything that I talk about in this video and everything that I use will be down below in the description box. So with that being said, let's get into this video. Alright, hello there, INFOrmed Beauties, your girl EuniyceMari here, and so today I'm going to be doing a makeup routine for oily skin. I'm going to be sharing with you guys a few tips as I go along as to how you can keep your skin looking as matte as possible if you are oily prone, like your girl here. So first, let's start off with skincare. You guys know I am a skincare, I talk about how important it is, and so you want to make sure you are cleansing your face with products that are for oily skin, as well as toning the skin. I use this Ren toner here, toned my skin, and then you want to use a moisturizer on the skin, something that is not too oily, something that is lightweight. I use shea butter just a little bit on the skin. I love shea butter, it works for me, but as you guys can see, I do have a little bit of some oiliness. It's not really a lot of oily, it's just a natural glow that I do have, but I'm going to blot my face down a little bit because shea butter, I just use a little bit, but if you are not careful, it can be a bit too much for the skin and you can be oily. Now you do want to use something moisturizer that is not as oily. You want to use a moisturizer that is very lightweight, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm going to blot my face with just a tissue just to remove any excess oil, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead and blot it. And you don't see a lot of oil on here, which is good, so that's just showing you that I just have a little bit of a natural glow to my skin. So the next is that of course you want to use a primer. I don't own any primers. I don't use primer for before my makeup application, but right now I am actually in the moment of looking at primers because my skin has just been crazy oily, and by the end of the day I am just a whole oil spill. So I am actually looking at primers to try out. So if you guys know of any great primers to use, mattifying primers to use, please leave them down below in the comment section what suggestions you have. If there's any that you use that you love, let me know down below. But usually for this part, I would suggest a primer if you are extremely oily, okay? So use a primer. Another option that you have if you don't have a primer is doing the powder before liquid foundation method. I've seen a lot of people use it. I tried it before, and pretty much when you put down that powder, it absorbs any oil on the face, and then you put down your foundation, and it just makes your foundation last a little bit longer and not to be as oily. I'm not going to do that here because I wasn't too much of a big fan of that method, but I've seen it work for some. It may work for you, so that is another thing. So we're going to go ahead and jump into foundation. Now what you're going to need, of course, is a mattifying foundation. If you are oily prone, you should not be using anything else but a mattifying foundation. It's specifically is made for oily skin. So one of my all-time favorites, you guys know I love Maybelline's Matte and Poreless. It is an OG, triple OG. It's been, you know, my go-to for the longest. I have it in two colors. I have it in 312 and I have it in 310. 310 is my number one go-to color. I got it in 312 because it is the summertime and I wanted to make sure that I had something that was a little bit darker just in case I've gotten a tan. I've been going a little bit lightweight, and I have the clean Maybelline, the CoverGirl Clean BB cream in the matte, and this has been one of my favorites for the summertime to go to because it's more lightweight, it's not as heavy, and I just like that fact about it. And it's oil free, won't clog pores, suitable for sensitive skin, and it lasts all day. So you want to make sure that you are using a mattifying liquid product at first, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just squeeze it onto my face. I focus all my foundations on my cheeks because, as you guys can see, I do have a little bit of scarring from breakouts that I get from my oily, acne prone skin. And I just take a BH Cosmetics brush and I'm going to blend that into the face. Now for me, I use little wiping slash pressing into the skin. I just feel like that works better for me, especially because my skin is oily. I think pressing it into the skin just makes it set a lot better, and it just gives me a little bit more coverage versus if I'm, you know, wiping it, because I feel like wiping it doesn't really set it. I feel like pressing it into the skin sets it a lot better. Bam. Look at that. And so I just like to, sometimes I'll do this to just distribute it, and then I will press it into the face like so. Because I feel like since my skin is oily prone, if I'm just like, I don't know, what's the word? If I'm like wiping it onto the face, oh, it's not doing anything. Especially if my oils start to kick up mid like application, we're just smearing around. And I'm just gonna apply more in certain areas that I want more coverage. I don't apply foundation to my forehead because my forehead is a lot. I don't apply the liquid foundation to my forehead because my forehead is a little bit darker than the rest of my face. So I don't really apply it there, but I apply it everywhere else. And just from that one application, my skin is a lot more matte. You can definitely tell when you're looking at it that my skin is a lot more matte than what it was. It still has a nice slight dewy look to it, which I actually like. I don't like the all over matte look. I don't like where you look like you're dry. I do like to still have a little bit of a glow to me naturally. So my glow is toned down, and then I'm going to apply powder on top. So my glow is toned down a little bit more than what it was when I initially started. So the next thing you're going to need is powder. Okay, so you can go any way. You can use a loose powder. One of my favorites is the Beauty Bakery's loose powder here, flower powder, or you can use a pressed powder. One of my OG favorites is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I got it in 312 and in 310. And my newest baby that I gotten is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro, and this is in the color Pecan, and this is a matte powder as well. So I do like this one. I've been using it lately. So you're gonna need some type of powder. I don't care if you are an oily prone girl. Powder is going to be your best friend. Okay, so I take the powder, dip the brush in there, and we apply it. I apply it in the same motion as in a stippling motion all over the face. I include my eyelids and everything because my eyelids get oily. All right, and then I also do hit up my forehead with the powder. I don't do, like I said, I don't do foundation and powder because I feel like that's too much for my forehead because it is a little bit darker. But I do hit it up with the powder just to mattify everything. Okay. I really do feel like this lighting washes me out. Like, I swear to you guys, like, I don't look as pale on here as I do the camera. Okay. All right, and then after this, after you do your makeup and everything, you can use a setting spray. I don't use setting sprays, never tried them, and I don't know if I ever will get in the habit of using a setting spray. But setting sprays are another option if you have oily prone skin. You can hit it with a shot of some setting spray, and it just holds everything together and keeps everything looking nice and fresh and mattified. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna finish the rest of my face, and I'm gonna come back and we're gonna talk about a few more tips on how to keep your face looking nice and matte throughout the day. Okay, you guys, so I finished my makeup and I just decided to come in a different type of lighting because I feel like that lighting in the room was like washing me out and making me look a little bit like a pale ghost. But this is just natural sunlight and how my makeup turned out. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of extra tips when it comes to oily prone skin. You just want to make sure that there are a couple of things you can do. So like say you're going throughout your day and like you start to notice that your skin is looking really oily. Blotting papers or blotting sheets are going to be your best friend. You want to use those to soak up any excessive oil, let's say around the forehead or anywhere in like your T-zones. And then from there, powder. So taking along with you your favorite powder, for example, the Bare Minerals Bare Pro powder would be something that I would take with me, and either a brush or a sponge, but preferably for me a brush. And you would just first blot the area that you have a lot of oil, take your powder and reapply. You don't want your powder or your foundation to look cakey, so it is best to absorb all that oil first and then reapply your makeup to just add some more mattifying to that one area. Okay, and pretty much that is it. I feel like if you implement these into your not only your skincare but into your makeup routine, it can really help to keep you mattified for as long as possible. But there are little things with oily skin where you will get oily. I mean, you can be as preventative as much as possible, but it just comes with the territory of having oily skin. All right, so yeah, you guys, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. This is your girl EuniyceMari. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you guys in a later video. Bye.